Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael both represent the highest level of arts of high Renaissance period. How well did you know Leonardo da Vinci? How about Raphael? Did you know that the Mona Lisa was stolen? How about the meaning of the Sistine Madonna? Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all of you, and especially to our instructor, Mrs. Chit Origenes. Now, let's deeply dive in to the world of Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael.
Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most intriguing personalities in the history of Western art. He was an Italian painter, draftsman, sculptor, architect, and engineer whose genius, perhaps more than that of any other figure, epitomized the Renaissance humanist ideal. He was named Leonardo da Vinci because he was known as Leonardo, or Il Florentine, as he lived near Florence, and his surname da Vinci was derived from his town Vinci. He was born on April 15, 1452 to a peasant named Caterina and an attorney named Ser Piero. He had no formal education, but his father liked his artistic talent, so he was trained to Andrea del Bellocchio, a sculptor and painter. He would then master his skill in painting and sculpting, and later on he learned mechanical arts. He had a wide range of interests, from fine art to science. He studied nature, mechanics, anatomy, physics, architecture, weaponry, and more. He created the two most well-known paintings, the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. He spent a lot of time studying nature, testing scientific laws, dissecting bodies, and writing his observations. Because of this, Leonardo is also celebrated for his scientific contributions, such as discoveries in neuroanatomy and neurophysiology. Although completed works by Leonardo are few, he left a large body of paintings, almost 2,500, that record his ideas, most still gathered into notebooks. These included drawings of art, architecture, mechanics, and human anatomy. His genius as an artist and inventor continues to inspire artists and scientists alike centuries after death. His most famous paintings were admired by many people and became inspirations for other painters. Some of his ideas, such as his idea for a bicycle, a flying machine, and many others, were studied and refined by other people. And some of these ideas are now turned into vehicles that are widely used today. Furthermore, his discoveries in the human body shape our understanding of it. We should thank him for knowing how our body works.
So let us discuss some of the major artworks of Da Vinci. The first one, and probably one of the most famous artwork, is the Mona Lisa. It is currently displayed and is taken care of by Louvre Museum in Paris, France. Da Vinci used two types of artwork techniques on creating this artwork, the sfumato and the composition arrangement. When we say sfumato, it is the technique of blending two or more tones or colors to create a soft texture. Meanwhile, the composition arrangement helped Da Vinci to express more of the emotions of the subject he had chosen to paint by choosing the right position and angle of every detail that is included in the portrait. The painting is still a subject of investigations and theories due to the sitter's unknown identity, leaving scholars and historians with a lot of assumptions, such as claiming that the subject is Lisa del Giocondo, the wife of the Florentine merchant Francisco de Bartolomeo de Giocondo. Some also claim that she is Leonardo's mother, Caterina, and some even say that the painting is Leonardo's self-portrait, given the resemblance of the subject and the artist. In 1911, a man named Vincenzo Perugia sneaked onto the premises of the museum and took this painting. The Mona Lisa was not yet recognized by many at that time and still considered as Leonardo's minor artwork. It was eventually taken back to the Louvre Museum after Vincenzo got caught, and the painting also experienced a lot of threat aside from the renowned stealing of the artwork, such as attempt to vandalize or even destroying the artwork. But up to the present times, it is still intact and is displayed for public in Louvre Museum. So the next one is the Last Supper. Most of us probably have the same portrait displayed in our dining area, but the one Leonardo da Vinci made was commissioned by Ludovico Sforza. This was commissioned during the renovation of a church in Milan and was displayed in the dining hall or refectory of Santa Maria del Grazie. He used an experimental technique or applying the tempera paint and mixed media directly to the stone wall. This painting was also created in a linear perspective where it shows an illusion-like visual, giving us more of a 3D painting than looking like a 2D image. The scene is not a frozen moment, but rather a representation of a successive moments. It is Leonardo's visual interpretation of an event chronicled in all four of the Gospels book in the Christian's New Testament. The painting shows the first celebration of the Eucharist, the evening before Christ was betrayed by one of his disciples. He gathered them together to eat, told them he knew what was coming, and washed their feet. As they ate and drank together, Christ gave the disciples explicit instructions on how to eat and drink in the future, in remembrance of him. Lastly is the Vitruvian Man, which was made by Leonardo around 1490. It was made as a study of human proportion, but on a deeper meaning, it is an epitome of perfection and shows the ideal proportion of a human individual. It was based on the writings of the Greek architect Vitruvius. And here are some of the famous artworks of Da Vinci, which are the Lady with an Ermine, Portrait of Ginevra Benci, Salvator Mundi, Saint John the Baptist, and Virgin of the Rocks. During his time, Leonardo da Vinci had always been interested in the concept of flying. This led him to his creations and inventions, including the pyramidal cloth parachute, which he created during 1485, and the flying machine, which was created during the same time frame, wherein he conceptualizes a wing-like invention aimed to use human power to fly.
So ngayon is tatalakayin naman natin kung sino nga ba si Raphael. So si Raphael ay isang renowned Italian Renaissance artist at ang kanyang buong pangalan ay Raffaello Sancho or Raffaello Santi. So he was an Italian master painter and architect of the High Renaissance period. So ipinanganak siya sa Urbino, Italy noong 1483 at namatay siya sa Rome noong 1520. So Raphael is renowned for his exquisite Madonnas, large figure compositions in the Vatican, and particularly for his masterpiece, The School of Athens in Pope Julius II's private apartment. So bakit nga ba tinawag si Raphael na isang master painter and architect nung High Renaissance period? So Raphael's artistic talent, innovative techniques, his mastery of painting, and his contribution to the architectural field and art, combined with his association with the Vatican, and his influence on subsequent artists earned him the title of a master painter and architect of the Italian High Renaissance period, which made him a central figure in the history of Western art. So his work is admired for its clarity, ease of composition, and achievement of the Neoplatonic ideal of human grandeur. So Raphael's journey as an artist began at an early age when he apprenticed under his father, Giovanni Santi, na kung saan ay isa ring painter. So yung early exposure ni Raphael sa world of art ay nagkindle for his passion for creativity. So Raphael's early years were marked by artistic influence in Urbino and a strong foundation in humanistic philosophy. Then he moved to Florence, na kung saan ay naimpluwensyahan siya ni Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo na nagdulot or nag-lead sa pagkakaroon or pagbabago ng kanyang artistic style. So sa paglipat ni Raphael sa Rome noong 1508 ay naging isa itong mahalagang yugto di lamang sa kanyang buhay pati na rin sa kanyang karera bilang isang artist. So dahil doon lumago ang kanyang reputasyon nang siya ay makomisyon na lumikha ng mga frescoes para sa Vatican. So, dahil sa paglikha ng mga freskong ito, ay siya ay naging paborito ni Pope Julius II. He also decorated several rooms in the Vatican, notably the Stanza de la Signatura, where he painted the School of Athens, which remains one of his most famous works, reflecting Neoplatonic ideals and emphasizing human grandeur. So, si Raphael hindi lang siya basta master of traditional techniques, but also siya rin ay isang innovator. So, nag-introduce siya na bagong concept of using perspective to create depth in his work, and he also perfected the technique of sfumato, so creating a seamless transition between light and dark. So his approach to portraiture and capturing the human form had a profound influence on the artist who came after him. So yung artistic style ni Raphael, it goes beyond intellectual precision because it exudes vitality and graceful energy. So his figures seamlessly flow within his painting na nagkakaroon or nagpo-form ng distinctive spherical composition that are visually appealing and unified. So dahil dito is nasa-showcase yung kanyang profound understanding in terms of bringing his subjects to life. So even in intense drama, or intense dramatic scene, Raphael's figure maintained a serene composure, demonstrating his talent for balancing drama with harmony, making his art truly extraordinary and revered. So Raphael died at the age of 37. So although Raphael's life was short, it was marked by artistic brilliance and innovation. So his ability to blend classical ideals with contemporary vision, along with his devotion to harmony and balance, has solidified his place as one of the greatest artists of the Italian Renaissance period.
Raphael really has a lot of wonderful works, and ito yung ilan sa mga pinakang sikat at influential na mga artworks noong Renaissance period hanggang sa ngayon. Sa Sistine Madonna, we can see the portraiture of Virgin Mary appearing with the infant Jesus, and alam naman natin na si Virgin Mary ay napiling magdalang tao sa anak ng Diyos na si Jesucristo dahil mula pagkasilang ay siya ay nanatiling puspos at busilak ang kanyang puso, and kaya siya ang best representation of virtue, virginity, innocence, and purity of spirit. So, pinaniniwalaan na ito ay pininta sometime around 1513 at siya ay kaiba sa ibang Madonnas ni Raphael through its majesticity that is presented through the presentation of the apex of triangular group of figures, including Saint Barbara on the right, yung babaeng may gold, blue, and green, and Saint Sixtus on the left with the red line cloak. And tinuturing na the Sistine Madonna represented the Renaissance period through its blending of themes. It was a religious artwork but imbued with humanistic drawing kung saan ang mga angels ay mukhang totoo at ang bawat figures at ang kanilang expression are very clear and evident. And diba, noong Renaissance period ay mas sumikat ang mga art related to holy figures together with biblical ideas and concepts since laganap noon ang Kristyanismo.
Also, mas naging sikat pa ito dahil sa illusion that completes the story, na sila daw ay parang nasa isang unexpected turn of events sa isang play kung saan sila ay nakapwesto sa likod ng mga kortina. Isa pa sa mga illusion na makikita dito ay ang mistulang malawalang hangganang ulap, where that illusion is supported ng dalawang angels sa ibabaan, since their bodies make it look like there is some vast of space beyond the image that we can see. For more information about Sistine Madonna, you can try looking at the link provided at the bottom part of the screen. The School of Athens was regarded as his greatest work because of the combination of thoughts, ideas, the same as the painting techniques that were used on working on this artwork. This painting represents the world of truth, where most of the popular philosophers, mathematicians, and scientists of that time such as Plato, Aristotle, and etc. was gathered and painted in a single painting, kung saan nandito makikita or imagine natin kung anong scenario if lahat ng mga greatest figures ay nagkasama-sama sa isang lugar.
Raphael ostensibly knew that he could create something that would change the course of painting forever, so kaya ayon sinama niya ang sarili niya sa painting together with other great artists such as Michelangelo and Da Vinci. So in terms of painting techniques, he used fresco, a form of mural painting in which earth pigments are painted directly on fresh wet lime plaster. The fresco is lauded with praise for Raphael's use of perspective. Raphael has used a unique one-point perspective or linear perspective.
And makikita nyo yung lines of the pillars and the floor tiles converge to a single disappearing point sa background sa pagitan ng ulo ni Plato and Aristotle. Also, he used some specific techniques such as chiaroscuro or the creation of contrast between dark and light, and sfumato or using a soft hazy technique to transition between colors. Whereas these techniques are what makes Raphael's artwork popular together with his proper execution and wide touch of ideas. So here are other famous artworks from Raphael. You can check these famous artworks in the link provided below. Now that we all know Leonardo da Vinci was named after the town Vinci and known as the Second Florentine. He has many interests from the field of arts to science and leads to the new inventions. Additionally, he has three prominent paintings of this day. The first one is the Mona Lisa that uses sfumato and composition arrangement. And the next one is the Last Supper that uses experimental technique. And the last one is the Vitruvian Man. How about Raphael? Raphael is an Italian painter that works admired for clarity of form, ease of composition, and unifying movements. If Leonardo da Vinci has three prominent paintings, Raphael has two prominent paintings of this day. The first one is the Sistine Madonna. Sistine Madonna is Virgin Mary. And the next one is the School of Athens, where he belongs to the painting. And that's the world of Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael. Questions or clarifications? If none, thank you for listening to our group.